Hello everybody, welcome to the Skinny on Skincare. This is the first episode for June, which is kind of important to me based on my background. June is Acne Awareness Month, and acne is still very much a four-letter word. People deal with this problem starting in their teens, going all the way to their mid-40s. Some people even in their 50s. There's even late onset acne, which is a problem for a lot of people. So this is a very important month for me, especially since back in the day I wrote a book called Acne Free in 3 Days on the subject, which was a bestseller. You may or may not know that the book was a huge hit. When I wrote it, it was based on a natural way to take care of acne, which is a problem that I had had as a teenager that had lasted well into my 20s. And I had tried everything, tetracycline, I had gone to every dermatologist, top dermatologist out there. I'd been to all of them and to no avail. A lot of money, no cure. I even took Accutane. So I wrote a book on the subject, nearly 10 years ago. In 2007, the book came out, and it was a huge hit because it helped people get rid of this problem through natural means, no prescriptions. The book was called Acne Free in 3 Days. And it became a huge hit because it helped people do what I had done, which was to cure acne naturally without prescriptions or any more dermatologists. Not that those are not good things when they're needed, but they don't work for everyone. So you may not remember that about me or haven't seen me on television, but let's take a short trip down memory lane just for some of the tips that I was giving back then.
We're talking about good for you. Acne, that four-letter word we all can't stand.
Acne Free
in 3 days.
Sitting beside me right here is Chris Gibson.
Welcome to you, Chris.
Great to be here.
Now, do you know what you're talking about?
I would think so.
Yeah?
You had a really harsh battle with acne.
Yeah, it started very early for me. About when I was 11 years old, I started having problems, and my parents were right on it. You know, okay, let's get him to the dermatologist and get this under control, because many members of my family had it.
Did you try everything and anything?
Everything.
Spent
Accutane,
lots of money.
Tetracycline, thousands of dollars.
And so many of those things have horrible side effects.
They do. And then I was trying the products in the stores, which have just they proliferated in the last 20 years.
So it sort of forced me out of the box to look for alternatives to see what was really creating my problem, and that's where the book really comes from, is my story. And then I shared it with friends and family over the years, and they said, you should really write something on this. And I had written business books up until then.
Oh, really?
And so I put together a little booklet. We put it out on the internet actually about 4 years ago, and it just went nuts. Everybody was looking for these type of answers, a natural way to work with their skin. And so they wrote in, asked questions. We put a lot of science in there, dermatology in there. So it's really this big book now on skincare that's all natural based.
All right, so that was then and this is now. So let's talk about now, 10 years later. A lot of things have changed, and a lot of things, unfortunately, in the treatment side have not changed. So what we're going to do to start off the month of acne awareness is we're going to talk about the myths today. What are the myths about acne and clearing it up? And there are several of them. First of all, the first myth is that oil and hormones cause your acne. Okay, that's not true. Everyone has skin oil, so everyone would have acne if that were true. Everyone has hormones, you know, up and down, they change throughout your life. So if it were your hormones creating your acne problem, then everyone would have it. Everyone doesn't have it. But what they do is they contribute to acne. If you're acne prone skin, which is a blocked pore, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. If you have acne prone skin, then oil production is going to be an issue for you, because the bacteria that lives on the skin that creates acne feeds on that oil. So it's not the oil itself, and it's not hormones. Hormones kind of work with how much oil you're producing. As you get older, your hormones level off and they actually decrease, so you sometimes produce less oil, but that doesn't mean the acne goes away. So that's the first big myth. The second myth is that the only way to get rid of acne is through antibiotics and through Accutane or some other drug along those lines. Retinols, Retin-A, all of those things, that you have to use some sort of chemical. Well, again, if that worked for everybody, it still wouldn't be a huge problem. I mean, 25% of adult men and 60% of adult women deal with some form of acne or skin problem in their 30s and 40s. That's that tells you right there that antibiotics aren't the answer. And we know today that we didn't know 10 years ago is that the overuse of antibiotics has caused a lot of other problems. And we'll talk about those as well this month on what to do about the antibiotic problem. If you were a person that was on a lot of antibiotics as a child like I was, and then you had acne, there's a reason why the antibiotics did not work for you. So we're going to talk about that too. But that's the myth. The truth is you can treat your skin very well through natural means, through changes in your diet, through changes in your product use, and you can see a great reduction in the breakouts. I know I did it. I wrote about it in a book that was hugely popular. You wouldn't sell 1 million copies of something if it didn't work. That's not to brag, it's just to say that there are answers outside of antibiotics, harsh skincare products, those kinds of things. Which leads me to the big one for me, which is the myth that what you eat, and I still can't believe that people hear this, what you eat does not have an impact on your skin, which is totally ridiculous. If what we eat through our lifetime has an impact on our heart health, has an impact on our digestive health, has an impact on our mental health, how can it not have an impact on the largest organ in your body? That's just ridiculous. So obviously there is a link. I found a link in food for myself, and I'm going to talk about that this month too. We're going to talk about what to do in your diet that can greatly change the health of your skin. There have been a lot of new discoveries about a lot of the fat reduction products that are out there. They have like 2% cottage cheese and 1% this, and especially for women, what an impact that has on their skin and on acne-prone skin. So we're going to talk about that this month as well. All right, the next myth we want to talk about is the myth that the products that you see are somehow new breakthroughs to treat your acne skin. This one really gets me, and I'm not going to call out any names. There are a lot of names I could call out there that are on television that do a lot of infomercials. There are a lot of really kind of crackpot things that you can find anywhere on YouTube, online, about how to do this with products. But what you need to know about over-the-counter products and the majority of prescription products, those ingredients in those products were new in 1983. This is 2018. So if you were to go back and look at a product called Persagel back in the day, which was benzoyl peroxide in a gel form that was prescription, and you go to any Walmart, CVS, grocery store, and you pick up an acne product that contains any kind of ingredient that's supposed to dry up your skin and dry up your acne, you're going to see salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. Hasn't changed, has not changed. So I'm not saying those ingredients don't help some people, they do. But for the majority of people with really severe acne, drying out the skin is a huge problem that makes a problem actually worse. And the end result of trying to get rid of acne is two things. One, you want to look good and feel good about yourself. And two, you don't want to have acne scarring, because acne scars you carry through life. And I know a lot of people, myself included, who dealt with self-esteem problems with that because of those issues. So we're going to talk about that too, about severe acne and about scarring that can happen and what you can do about it if you do have acne scars, because there are answers to that today that are really exciting about how you can change the look of your skin if you have acne scarring. So we're going to talk about that. Last myth that I'm going to talk about on this episode is kind of an interesting one, because I heard it as a teenager. You've probably heard it. I heard it all the way till I was 25, when clearly I was no longer a teenager, was that somehow you'll outgrow it. It'll go away. Now that's true for some people. Some people have breakouts through college, through high school, whatever. They get older, the oil production stops, the bacteria that's been causing the acne problem, which is the real cause, doesn't have a lot to work with anymore. So they get an occasional pimple, you know, that happens, but they don't have acne. There's a big difference between acne and just an occasional pimple. You can get a pimple anywhere on your body, anywhere you have a pore, because acne is three things. It is a blocked pore that contains acne bacteria that is living, digesting the oil that you produce and creating the problem, the infection. That's what it is. So this month, we're going to get rid of acne for as many people as we can. I want you to ask me questions on here. There's a comment section below. Please ask questions as we go through this series this month, and I'll do my best to answer you from the perspective of a naturalist, of a natural cure person. I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing things for you. If you have seen a dermatologist, continue to see them. What I am trying to do for you is give you some alternatives, give you some answers that have not just worked for me, but a lot of people have tried making these changes in the products they use, the diet that they have, and how they feel, even how they feel, their emotionality about acne, because a lot of times we feel like we're at war with ourselves when we're not happy with how we look. So we're going to talk about those things. We're going to address all that, and please be sure to subscribe if you have not, and hit the little bell that's going to be over here on this side of the screen so that you get updates from me that I've posted a new video on this. There are going to be several, at least one per week throughout June. I may have a couple of special ones on special topics thrown in, but it's really, really important you don't miss this. If you're dealing with acne skin, or you know someone who has, and they've tried everything, they go to the doctor, they've just tried every product, give this a chance. Go through this and look at the things I'm going to talk to you about and show you from a natural perspective, from a product perspective, a diet perspective, and see if we can't help you be in love with the skin you're in, because it's all about that. You need to look good and feel good in order to be yourself and be all you can be. And I get that because I've been there. So I look forward to this series. I'm excited because a lot of things since I've been doing this have come to fruition in the acne arena. There's also been a lot of new information that I want to share on what is creating and causing this problem to continue to happen and actually spread into more and more countries as they adopt the Western lifestyle. So I'm excited. Please come back and see the rest of these videos, and let's heal together.